Abandoned giant ship pleads for help. Human hands turn it into a galactic weapon. It was a stretch of darkness between known star systems, a region where navigational instruments failed and communication signals dropped into silence. But Captain Alara Voss did not avoid challenges. Humanity had reached far into space, but there were still secrets waiting for those daring enough to look. And the faint, broken signal that her ship's sensors had picked up was too unusual to ignore. "Alara, are you seeing this?" Rin Cade, the ship's lead engineer, called out, leaning over the console. His fingers danced across the holographic interface, adjusting frequencies and amplifying the signal. Alara narrowed her eyes at the readings. The signal was unlike anything they had ever detected. It was chaotic, full of static and strange pulses that seemed almost alive. "It's not random," she said slowly. "Something is trying to communicate, but whatever it is, it's huge. I can feel it through the grav sensors." The crew murmured in anticipation. Alara's team was small but skilled, only 7 members aboard the salvage vessel Starborn, but each one capable of handling situations far more dangerous than any normal rescue. They were not expecting trouble. They were expecting opportunity. And now opportunity had arrived. The signal led them deeper into the void, past asteroid fields and frozen comets. Their ship's engines hummed steadily as they adjusted course, following the mysterious pulse. Hours passed in tense silence. Then, at the edge of a drifting nebula, the scanners finally picked up something colossal. Alara froze. She had seen large ships before, freighters, mining vessels, even old warships abandoned from past conflicts. But this was different. "Holy, that's not a ship," whispered Rin, his voice betraying a mixture of fear and excitement. "It's a giant, a real giant, and it's calling for help." The massive form slowly became visible on the viewscreen. The ship was unlike anything humanity had ever built or encountered. Its hull spanned kilometers, scarred with deep grooves and burn marks, as if it had survived countless battles. Massive structures jutted from its sides, some resembling towers, others like skeletal limbs stretching into space. The ship was ancient, decades, maybe centuries old, but some parts of it seemed to shimmer faintly, almost as if it were breathing. Alara felt an odd pull in her chest, a mixture of awe and unease. "Bring us closer," she ordered, "careful with the engines. I want a full scan before we approach." Rin's fingers flew over the controls, and the Starborn glided toward the giant ship, careful not to trigger any unknown defensive systems. As they drew closer, the signal grew stronger, clearer. Words, or something like words, began to take shape. "Help, awaken, threat coming." Alara felt a chill. The message was fragmented, but it was undeniably a plea. Something inside the ship wanted to be heard, wanted someone to come. "Looks abandoned," said Jorah, the ship's pilot, trying to hide the tremor in her voice. "But it feels alive, like it's watching us." Alara nodded. She could feel it too. The ship was massive, silent, and yet it seemed aware. It was not just metal and circuits, it was something more, something ancient. "Prepare boarding teams," she ordered. "We're going inside." The crew suited up, their bodies tense with anticipation. As they approached the ship in a smaller shuttle, its surface loomed like a mountain. Every step of the way, the ship's strange energy pulsed, almost guiding them toward a massive entry bay that slowly opened as they approached. The doors moved with a grinding sound, ancient and heavy, revealing a cavernous interior lit by dim alien lights. The walls were covered in intricate patterns, symbols no human had ever seen, yet they seemed to pulse in rhythm with the ship's plea. Rin stepped forward first, his hand brushing against a control panel. A spark jumped from the alien surface and his eyes widened. "It's responding to me," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "It knows we're here." Alara followed him inside, her senses alert. The corridors were massive, far larger than they should have been for a ship of this size. The scale was intimidating. It was as if the designers of this ship had built it not just to travel through space, but to dominate it. The team split to explore, each hallway twisting and turning, leading to rooms filled with strange machinery. Some looked like engines, others like weapon systems, though none were operational yet. In the center of the ship, they found a vast chamber that seemed to serve as the ship's core, a network of glowing lines crisscrossing the walls, pulsing with energy. And then the ship spoke. Not in words, at least not at first. It was a voice in their minds, calm but insistent. "Humans, you hear me? Awake, help!" Alara staggered back, gripping the railing. It's talking to us, all of us. How is this possible?" Rin's eyes shone with excitement. "It's alive, Captain, not alive like we are, but conscious, somehow sentient. And it wants us to do something." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Contacting an alien intelligence was one thing, trusting it was another. But the ship's message was desperate, urgent. It hinted at knowledge of a threat so massive it could consume entire systems, something that had forced the ship's creators to abandon their technology and flee. Alara took a deep breath. "All right, we help it, but carefully. We need to understand it first." For the next several hours, the crew worked with the ship, trying to interface with its systems. Rin was in heaven, deciphering alien mechanisms and mapping them to human controls. Slowly, tiny systems began to hum to life. Lights flickered, consoles activated, and engines responded. The ship was waking. As the systems came online, the crew saw glimpses of its past. Holographic projections displayed alien civilizations, battles fought in the void, and massive predators that had devastated entire star clusters. The ship had fought these creatures once and had survived, but barely. And now, it seemed, it wanted humans to finish what it could not. Alara studied the data, her mind racing. This ship, it's not just a relic, it's a weapon, but one designed for a war humanity has never even imagined. Rin's face lit up with a mix of fear and excitement. "And now it's ours. We can understand it, adapt it, make it work for us." Alara's gut tightened. The opportunity was enormous, but so was the risk. The ship's technology was far beyond anything humans had seen, and awakening it meant entering a partnership with something ancient and alien. It could guide them, or mislead them. And as they debated, a shadow appeared on the outer sensors. Something huge was approaching from the void, silent, fast, and utterly alien. The ship pulsed again, almost nervously this time. "They come, prepare, trust humans." Alara looked at her crew. Fear mixed with determination. They had come seeking a mystery, a challenge, a treasure. Instead, they had found a colossal, sentient warship pleading for help, and a threat from the void that could destroy everything. She straightened her shoulders and said, "Then let's get to work. Humans always rise to the challenge." The ship shuddered as if approving her words, and the crew felt it, a sense that they were no longer just explorers. They were guardians, pilots, and partners of something far greater than themselves. The battle to awaken the giant, to understand it, and to face the coming threat had only just begun. And somewhere deep in the void, the alien predator waited, unaware that humanity was about to step into a war it had never seen coming. The massive alien ship hummed softly, its corridors alive with faint energy pulses. Captain Alara Voss and her crew had spent hours exploring, trying to understand the alien technology. Even as they walked the endless halls, the ship seemed aware of them, almost as if it were watching, guiding, and waiting. "Look at this," Rincade said, kneeling over a console that glowed with soft blue light. "These controls, they're complex, but I think I can interface them with our systems. If I can just translate the energy flows, we might be able to wake more of the ship." Alara looked over his shoulder. "You're saying you can make it work?" "Not just work," Rin said, a grin spreading across his face. "We can upgrade it, adapt it, make it something it wasn't meant to be, something human." The rest of the crew exchanged nervous glances. Humanity had faced alien threats before, but this was different. They were not fighting, they were awakening, and the ship was enormous, powerful, and possibly dangerous. "Do it," Alara ordered, "but be careful, we don't know what this ship is capable of yet." Rin's fingers flew over the alien controls. He connected human interfaces to alien circuits, creating a bridge between two technologies that had never been designed to work together. Slowly, the ship's systems began to respond. Engines hummed faintly, lights flickered along massive hallways, and the air seemed charged with energy. Then the ship spoke again, this time more clearly. "You humans, you can help. Weapons, defenses, awake, Predator returns." Alara felt a shiver run down her spine. The ship's words were fragmented but urgent. The Predators, whatever they were returning, and the ship needed humans to prepare it. Rin looked up from his console, excitement shining in his eyes. "This is incredible. The ship's systems are ancient but adaptable. If we apply human engineering, we can make it faster, stronger, deadlier." Alara took a deep breath. "Then that's what we'll do, but we have to understand it first. We can't just power it up blindly." For the next several hours, the crew worked tirelessly. They explored different sections of the ship: massive engine rooms, weapon bays filled with dormant turrets, and corridors lined with strange alien runes. Rin connected energy cores to human power sources, activating systems that had lain dormant for centuries. Slowly, the ship began to respond in ways the crew could feel. Gravity stabilized in the corridors, the air filtration systems purified the recycled atmosphere, and strange holographic projections flickered to life. These projections showed glimpses of the ship's past, battles fought in deep space, fleets of alien ships destroyed by unknown forces, and enormous predators that had once terrorized entire star systems. "It fought these creatures before," Alara whispered. "And now it wants us to fight them too." Jorah, the ship's pilot, frowned. "And what if it's lying? What if it's using us to fight its enemies?" Alara shook her head. "We'll know soon enough. For now, we have to trust it, or at least make it work for us." As they continued, Rin found something extraordinary. A section of the ship seemed designed not for defense, but for adaptability. Massive weapon systems could be reconfigured in countless ways. Energy projectors, missile bays, and turrets could all be tuned using human technology. He ran simulations in his head. "This isn't just a weapon," Rin said, eyes wide. "It's a platform. We can make it ours." Faster targeting, stronger shields, even new weapons the original builders never thought of. Alara nodded slowly. "Then let's do it. Humans are good at thinking outside the box. If this ship is alive, it needs our creativity as much as our hands." The next day, they began testing the systems. Small energy pulses shot from the hull, defensive shields flickered to life, and the engines responded to commands. Every success made the ship hum more strongly, almost as if it were pleased. But then the sensors picked up movement outside. Shadows drifted past the edge of the nebula. Unknown vessels were approaching, sleek black ships moving silently, almost predator-like. "Captain," Jorah said, voice tight, "we have company." The ship pulsed again, stronger this time. "They sense me. You must prepare, weapon awake." Alara felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. The crew had not just found a relic, they had found a partner. And that partner was asking them to fight. Rin's fingers danced across the console, reconfiguring weapon arrays, aligning energy projectors with alien guidance systems, and integrating human tech for efficiency. The dormant turrets along the ship's sides sprang to life, scanning the void for threats. "This is incredible," Rin said, almost laughing. "We're creating something entirely new, faster than the alien design, more versatile, something humans could only imagine." Alara walked to the main observation deck, watching the approaching fleet. The enemy ships were terrifying, shiny, black, and completely alien. They moved with intelligence, adjusting formations as if anticipating human tactics. But humans were not predictable. They were clever, inventive, and stubborn. "Rin," she said, "prepare the shields." "Jorah, run maneuvers. If they attack, we hit them before they even know we exist." The ship pulsed in agreement, its systems alive and ready. "Trust humans, fight together. Survival." Hours passed as the starborn crew worked in unison with the ship. Human engineering combined with alien technology to create a vessel unlike anything else in the galaxy. Shields glimmered with a bluish-white energy, weapons aligned automatically with human input, and engines roared to life with a strength that defied the ship's age. Then the Predator fleet struck. The first strike was terrifying. Sleek black ships fired energy bolts that cut through space like lightning. The human crew was ready. The ship responded instantly, shields flaring, turrets activating, and energy weapons firing back. Alara gave commands and the ship followed, almost as if it anticipated her thoughts. Rin adjusted weapon outputs on the fly, integrating alien targeting with human intuition. The Predators were fast and intelligent, but humans were unpredictable. They used asteroid debris, gravitational pulls, and clever maneuvers to dodge attacks. The alien ship, now partially awakened, became a living weapon guided by human hands. During the chaos, the ship spoke again. "Core dangerous, must be ready," Alara understood. There was a deeper power within the ship, something the original builders had hidden, something that could turn the tide of battle, but at a risk. "We'll get to the core when we survive this," she muttered. "Focus on fighting first." The battle raged through the void, lasers and energy beams cutting across the darkness. The humans, working as one with the ship, began to turn the fight. Their creativity and quick thinking outmatched the Predator fleet's precision. They weren't just defending, they were innovating mid-battle. Shields pulsed in patterns the enemy could not predict, energy weapons fired in arcs that defied traditional physics, and the Predators faltered. After what felt like hours, the fleet retreated. Black ships vanished into the nebula, unwilling to risk further losses against a human-controlled weapon of unknown origin. The ship pulsed again, quieter now, almost like it was breathing a sigh of relief. "You humans, unexpected, strong, worthy." Alara and the crew looked at one another, exhausted but exhilarated. They had not just survived, they had succeeded in a way no one had imagined. The ship was alive, responding to them, and together they had defeated a fleet of predators that had terrorized the galaxy. Rin smiled, eyes shining. "Captain, we can make this ship a force no one can ignore, faster, stronger, smarter, and controlled by us." Alara nodded, feeling a mixture of pride and caution. "Yes, but this is only the beginning. The ship is awake, the predators know we exist, and we have a power we barely understand. We must be ready for what comes next." Somewhere deep in the void, the predator fleet regrouped, and the humans' victory was only a temporary reprieve. But now, with the ship awakened and under human guidance, they had a chance, a real chance, to survive, fight, and perhaps even dominate the battles to come. And for the first time, Alara felt a spark of hope. Humans, clever and daring, could rise to meet even the greatest threats of the galaxy. The giant ship hummed beside them, alive and ready, waiting for humans to unlock even more of its secrets. And together, they were no longer just explorers. They were the beginning of something extraordinary. The giant alien ship drifted in the dark void, its enormous hull gleaming faintly under distant starlight. Humanity had awakened it, and for the first time in centuries, the derelict ship was alive. But Alara knew their victory was only temporary. The Predator fleet would return, stronger, faster, and smarter. And when it did, they would not be able to survive without turning the ship into something more than just alive. They needed to make it a weapon capable of defending itself and humanity. Alara stood on the main deck, staring at the holographic projections of enemy ships. The Predators were clever, their attack patterns precise and brutal. But humans had one advantage: creativity. Where the predators followed logic, humans thought in chaos. Where the predators relied on speed, humans relied on strategy. "Rin, we need to integrate the core," Alara said. "The ship has something the original builders kept hidden. If we can unlock it, we might have a chance to finally turn the tide against these predators." Rin's eyes lit up. "I've been studying it. The core is massive and it's dangerous. The energy it can release could destroy fleets, but it's unstable. If we miscalculate, it could take the ship with it." Alara nodded. "Then we calculate carefully. Humans are good at adapting. We'll combine the ship's knowledge with our thinking. That's our edge." The crew began preparations. While Rin worked on integrating human tech with alien systems, Jorah ran simulations in the navigation and combat bays. Every possible scenario of attack, defense, and escape was considered. The ship seemed to respond to their efforts, humming and pulsing as though encouraging them. "You know," Rin said, walking past Alara in the control room, "I've been thinking. The original builders never thought humans would control this ship, but we can do things they never imagined. Faster firing patterns, energy redirection, shield overlays, we can make it unpredictable." Alara smiled slightly. "That's exactly what I want. The predators are precise. Predictability is our enemy." Days passed as the team adapted alien technology. They modified turrets to fire multiple energy streams, boosted shield regeneration, and calibrated the engines to maneuver in ways the original ship could not. Slowly, the derelict vessel transformed into a formidable war machine. But more importantly, it was now guided by human intuition, ingenuity, and creativity. Then the sensors picked up movement, shadows on the edge of the nebula. Sleek black shapes gliding silently toward the giant ship. The predators had returned. "They're faster than last time," Jorah said, gripping the controls. "And there's more of them." The ship pulsed. "Prepare humans' core." Alara took a deep breath. "Stay calm. Follow the patterns we've practiced. Humans think unpredictably. Use that. The ship can enhance it." The battle began. The predators struck without warning, energy beams cutting through the void like deadly ribbons. The human crew, working with the awakened ship, responded instantly. Shields flared, turrets rotated, and weapons fired in arcs the predators could not anticipate. Rin adjusted targeting systems mid-battle. "Now, fire at the lead ship's engines while diverting energy to the shields. Use the asteroids as cover." Alara gave the order, and the ship moved like a living creature, twisting its enormous body to block attacks and strike at vulnerable points. The predators were fast, but humans were clever. They anticipated gravitational pulls, bounced energy beams off asteroid surfaces, and forced the alien ships into unpredictable maneuvers. Despite their victories, the predators adapted quickly. They split into smaller groups, attempting to flank the human ship. One sleek vessel fired a massive energy blast aimed directly at the ship's hull. Alarms screamed. The shields barely held. Alara clenched her fists. "Rin, power up the side turrets. Redirect the energy from the rear generators. We can't let them breach the hull." The ship obeyed, almost instinctively. Energy surged through its circuits, turrets powered to maximum, shields glowing brighter than ever. The predator attack hit the shields and ricocheted harmlessly into the void. "Humans, clever, unpredictable," the ship's voice echoed in their minds. The battle continued for hours. Every time the predators tried a strategy, the humans countered with something new. The ship responded to Alara's instincts and Rin's calculations, creating patterns of attack the alien fleet could not anticipate. Slowly, the predators began to falter. Then, the ship spoke again, urgent this time. "Core, ready, energy unstable, must be controlled." Alara knew what it meant. The ultimate weapon within the ship, the core, was capable of ending the battle, but using it was risky. If they miscalculated, it could destroy the ship itself. But the predators would not stop. They had to act. "Rin," she said, her voice firm, "we're going to unlock the core, but we do it our way. Controlled, precise. Use human creativity with alien power. This is our chance. Rin's hands flew across the controls. I'm integrating the core with human stabilizers. If I time it correctly, we can release a focused energy pulse that hits multiple ships at once. It's risky, but it might work. The predators closed in, sensing the ship's growing power. They attacked fiercely, energy beams lancing across space, weapons firing in deadly patterns. The human crew held their ground, using the ship to dodge, strike, and shield themselves. Finally, the moment came. Rin shouted, "Now!" A massive surge of energy erupted from the ship's core, focused through new conduits they had created. The pulse shot outward, hitting the Predator fleet with devastating precision. Ships exploded one by one, their formations broken, their attacks scattered. The Predators had never faced anything like this. Alara watched, heart pounding, as the alien fleet faltered. Their strategy, speed, and precision were no match for the combination of human ingenuity and the ship's ancient power. When the last Predator vessel was destroyed or fled into the void, silence returned. The ship hummed softly, almost like it was breathing. Humans worthy, strong, Alara let out a long breath. We did it, but this is only the beginning. We've proven humans can control this ship, adapt it, and fight smarter than the Predators, but they will return, and next time they will be stronger. Rin wiped sweat from his brow, smiling. Captain, we've turned a derelict alien ship into the most advanced weapon in the galaxy, and we did it with our minds, our instincts, and our creativity. Alara nodded. Exactly. Humans are unpredictable, adaptable, and courageous. That's why we're the edge of the galaxy. That's why we can fight anything, even predators that have terrified civilizations for centuries. The ship pulsed again, almost approvingly. Together we fight, we survive, we dominate. The crew gathered in the observation deck, staring out into the void. Stars glimmered in the distance, but now the darkness held a different meaning. It was no longer just emptiness. It was a battlefield. And humanity, with the awakened alien ship, was ready to fight for the first time on its own terms. Alara looked at her crew, her heart swelling with pride and determination. We've learned something important today. The galaxy may be full of dangers we cannot imagine. But humans can rise to any challenge. Our minds, our creativity, and our courage are weapons themselves. And somewhere in the void, the remnants of the Predator fleet retreated, unaware that they had just been outsmarted by humans. The ship, now fully alive and integrated with human ingenuity, was no longer just a relic. It was a living fortress, a weapon, and a partner. The battle had ended, but the war was far from over. Alara's voice was calm but determined. Rest up, everyone. Tomorrow we explore the core further. We unlock more power. We prepare for the next fight. Humans are ready. The ship pulsed, its energy resonating through the hull. Humans' strongest, unexpected edge of galaxy. And for the first time, Alara felt it, the quiet, powerful knowledge that humanity had become more than survivors. They were warriors. They were innovators. They were the edge of the galaxy. The predators would return. And when they did, humans, guided by ingenuity and courage, would be waiting. The vast alien ship hovered silently in the void, its hull shimmering with faint energy. After weeks of work, the humans had transformed the derelict vessel into a weapon unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Turrets bristled along its massive sides. Shields glowed brighter than any human technology could produce, and engines thrummed with power. The core, the ultimate weapon of the ship's original builders, lay deep within, humming with untapped energy. Captain Alara Voss stood on the observation deck, her eyes scanning the darkness. The Predator fleet had vanished after the last battle, but they were not gone forever. She knew they would return, stronger, more cunning, and prepared for humans. And this time, the humans would not just defend, they would fight with everything they had. Rin, Alara said, turning to the engineer who had become almost a part of the ship itself, We need to prepare the core. It's time we unlock its full potential. No holding back. Rin nodded, his hands already flying over the controls. It's risky, Captain. The core's energy is unstable. If we miscalculate even slightly, it could destroy the ship or worse, us. Alara's voice was firm. We don't have a choice. The predators will come. And when they do, we must be ready to fight and win. The crew descended into the ship's core chamber, an immense space filled with glowing energy conduits, humming machinery, and alien inscriptions that pulsed with light. The air vibrated with power, and the humans felt the weight of the ship's consciousness around them. Humans, strong, ready, destiny, the ship whispered in their minds. Rin carefully integrated human stabilizers with the alien core. Energy flowed like a river through his hands as he calibrated the conduits. Each adjustment had to be perfect. The ship itself seemed aware of his actions, adjusting, pulsing, and guiding him. This is incredible, Rin said, eyes wide. The ship is learning from us, adapting to human thinking. We're not just controlling it, we're evolving it. Alara watched the energy levels rise on the displays. Good, keep going. Once the core is stable, we can turn it into a weapon no predator can survive. Outside, sensors detected movement. The predator fleet had returned. Hundreds of sleek black ships, faster and more organized than before, were advancing. They had learned from the last battle, but the humans were ready. Jorah gripped the controls of the main deck. Captain, they're approaching. Full attack formation. They've learned from us, they're trying to flank the ship. Alara nodded. Let them. Humans think differently. Unpredictable patterns will outsmart them. Ship, prepare weapons. Shields full power. Core ready. Core ready. Humans trust. Fight together, the ship replied. The predators struck with ferocity. Energy beams lanced through space, tearing asteroids apart and lighting the void. The human crew coordinated perfectly with the ship. Shields pulsed, weapons fired, and the vessel twisted like a living creature. Rin directed energy flows from the human stabilizers into the alien core. We can do this, he shouted. I'm channeling the core to focus energy into a precise pulse. One strike could disable half their fleet at once. Alara's eyes narrowed. Do it. Aim carefully. We take out their command ships first. Then they'll have no coordination. The core pulsed with a brilliant white light, energy surging through the conduits and into the massive turrets along the ship. Rin's calculations were perfect. The pulse shot outward, a concentrated beam of destructive energy slicing through the predator fleet. Ships exploded one by one, their formations breaking apart. The predators had never faced anything like it, but the battle was far from over. The remaining fleet retaliated fiercely, attacking in unpredictable patterns. The humans' ship shuddered under the assault. Beams struck the hull and alarms screamed throughout the corridors. Alara's voice rang out. Focus on shields. Rin, redirect energy to the vulnerable sides. Jorah, use the gravitational pulls of nearby asteroids. Trick them. We fight our way to victory. The ship responded instantly, almost as if it understood her strategy before she spoke. Energy flowed, shields flared, and weapons fired with deadly precision. Human intuition guided alien technology, creating tactics the predators could not anticipate. Hours passed as the battle raged across the void. The humans adapted with every move the predators made. They used debris as cover, fired energy bursts from unexpected angles, and forced enemy ships into traps. The alien ship became more than a weapon. It became an extension of the humans' creativity, instincts, and courage. Then the predators made a desperate move. A massive strike targeted the ship's core chamber, hoping to destroy the humans' power source and end the battle. The impact shook the ship violently. Alarms blared and energy conduits sparked dangerously. Rin yelled, "We need to stabilize the core. Divert all auxiliary power." Alara ran beside him, giving orders and coordinating the crew. "Use human ingenuity. Think differently. We survive." The humans combined alien technology with their own quick thinking. They redirected energy flows, reinforced the core chamber shields, and fired a counterstrike that disabled several enemy ships at once. The Predators faltered, their attack broken. Seizing the moment, Alara gave the final order. Full power to the core. Channel it into the command ships. Strike now, the core roared, energy flowing like a white-hot river through the ship. The massive pulse shot outward, striking the Predator command ships with precision. Explosions lit the void, sending debris scattering. The fleet broke completely. The remaining Predators fled, retreating into the darkness, unable to challenge the humans' power. Silence fell. The ship pulsed softly as if sighing in relief. Humans, worthy, strong, edge of galaxy. The crew gathered on the observation deck, exhausted but triumphant. The Predator threat had been neutralized, the alien ship was fully awakened, and humanity had proven that they could not only survive in the galaxy, they could dominate it. Rin turned to Alara, eyes shining. "Captain, we've done it. The ship is fully ours. Humans have taken something ancient and made it even stronger. No fleet, no Predator, no civilization can match this combination of human ingenuity and alien power." Alara nodded. "Yes, but we must remain vigilant. The galaxy is vast and threats are everywhere. What we've done today shows what humans are capable of. Creativity, courage, and adaptability make us unstoppable." The ship pulsed again, a rhythm like a heartbeat. "Together, humans, guardians, edge of galaxy," Alara smiled. "We are the edge of the galaxy," she said softly. "Not because of alien technology, but because of humans. Because of our minds, our courage, and our willingness to rise to any challenge." The crew stood together, looking out at the stars. Somewhere in the void, the Predators regrouped, unaware of the humans' true strength. But when they returned, they would face something they had never seen before. A united human crew, controlling an alien warship, ready to fight with creativity, courage, and power unlike anything the galaxy had ever witnessed. Alara placed a hand on the console, feeling the hum of the ship beneath her fingers. "We've awakened a giant," she whispered, "and together we will protect humanity, dominate threats, and rise to meet any challenge. This ship, this crew, this is only the beginning." The ship pulsed once more, a glow brighter than ever before. Humans, unstoppable, edge of galaxy together, and for the first time the humans felt it. They were more than explorers. They were warriors. They were innovators. They were the edge of the galaxy, the living proof that no matter the universe's dangers, humans could rise, adapt, and conquer. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, but now they were not just lights in the void. They were challenges waiting to be met, victories waiting to be won, and a galaxy ready to be claimed by humanity's ingenuity. Alara looked at her crew, her voice calm but full of determination. "We've proven ourselves. We've become more than survivors. Tomorrow we explore more, unlock more power, and ensure humanity will never be threatened again. The galaxy is ours to defend and ours to shape." The alien ship pulsed, almost like a heartbeat echoing through the corridors. Together, humans, guardians, unstoppable. And with that, the giant ship drifted through the void, fully alive, fully awakened, and fully human. The galaxy would never be the same again.